Hi, and thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about cool applications. This is the part that everyone's been waiting for. My name is E.R. Koren, and I'll be your instructor for today. Today we're going to talk about Advanced Task Killer. This is an important application for every phone. It allows you to do some of the memory management that you won't see until you get Gingerbread on your phone, which might not be ever for some of you guys, and it might be really soon, just around the corner on some of the newer models. We're going to talk about how to use the normal use and how to use the whitelist on it. We're also going to be talking about FoxyRing and some of its uses, how to set sleeping hours and how to set emergency contacts. We're going to talk about G-tasks that allow you to synchronize your tasks to your Gmail account. We're also going to talk about the Barcode Scanner, which is useful if you ever do any shopping anywhere for any electronics or really just about anything, even at Walmart. Anything that you want to buy, the Barcode Scanner is your new best friend. Record a call, which will allow you to record calls that are in session, either before you start the call or after you're already in the call. We're going to talk about Say My Name, which will announce who's calling you and some of the settings that you can adjust in there. We're also going to talk about SMS backup, which allows you to save your SMS with all Google-powered phones or Android-powered phones. What you have are actually really good backups because most of your stuff is on the cloud. One of the few things, however, that is not on the cloud is your SMSs, but this fixes that and it allows you to send all your SMSs up to the cloud, saves them in your Gmail inbox, and then you can find them fairly easily. We're going to talk about the PayPal application, which is obviously put out by PayPal and allows you to quickly send money to all your friends and family, acquaintances, and people that you don't even know and just really want to send money to. We're going to talk about the Wi-Fi Analyzer, which allows you to see all the wireless networks in your surrounding area and see what channels they're on. It's particularly useful if you're getting bad signal in certain parts of your home and you want to know why and what channel you should be on. We're going to talk about Google Voice, which allows you to use your Google Voice account on your phone, allows you to make and receive phone calls from your Google number, and allows you to send text messages as well through your Google number. We're going to talk about Voice Choice, which, when coupled with Google Voice, allows you to then choose which numbers are dialed through your Google number and which numbers are dialed through your normal number. That way, if you've got certain people that have your Google Voice number and certain people that have your normal number, then you can decide who sees what number when you call them and which number they dial in on. All right, let's get started. So we're going to talk about cool apps that you should have and that you should get from Market. Remember, Market is where you're downloading applications from. There's a whole bunch of free applications that actually do quite a bit for you. One of the most popular applications is called Advanced Task Killer. Advanced Task Killer allows you to close out of currently running applications. It allows you to free up memory, which in turn can make your phone go a lot faster. Now, depending on how new your phone is and how much processing power it has, this can make a small difference or a very large difference. This one actually has some pretty good processing power, but like on a Motorola backflip, having running applications in the background makes all the difference in the world as far as usability. So you can see what it shows me here is a list of my running applications, and what I can do is uncheck the ones that I don't want to kill, or check the ones that I do want to kill, like that one. Okay? What this also allows us to do is create a whitelist. It's right here under Settings, and this allows us to set items, oh whoops, not there, just kidding. We can hit our ignore list, and what we can do is delete ones from the ignore list to remove them from the whitelist, whereas to add them to the whitelist we can click and hold and we can say ignore. So if I ignore that one, it's no longer in the list. It will not be killed with the rest of these applications, and in order to set it to be killed back onto the blacklist is we hit ignore, and now we're going to remove that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it and see what it looks like. You can see our memory usage right there. It says available 259 megs, and when I say kill all, it's going to take me back to the home screen, and what you'll see if I open it back up is it'll have now 373 megs. And again, depending on the speed of your device, you'll notice that there's a huge speed increase. What you'll also notice is even though I just killed a few applications, there are applications that automatically load back up. And that's because these applications are set to start anytime that the phone is running. So right after you close them, they'll actually open right back up. The next application is FoxyRing. Let me show you what that one looks like. That's this icon right here. FoxyRing is a pretty interesting little application because it allows you to set sleeping hours where your phone is going to be quiet, and it allows you to set locations where your phone is going to be quiet, like movie theaters or libraries or different areas like that. It also does one more thing, which is it calibrates the ringtone based on how loud it notices the room is. So in quiet rooms, it'll ring quietly, and in loud rooms, it'll ring loud. Let's go ahead and look at some of the options that we have here. First of all, we can set our sleeping hours, so you can change what time it'll go quiet and what time it'll go back to loud. You can set your location, and I don't have one in there currently, but I can add one. Add current location if I wanted to. And I can also calibrate it for the microphone so that it can see how quiet the room is. So it wants you to calibrate the mic to see what it picks up in a quiet room to then allow you to for it to ring at the appropriate volume in a loud room. The other thing that you can do, which is important to do, is to set your preferences and to set your emergency contacts. So right here we have emergency contacts, and what I can do is I can add people to this list by hitting add contacts, and I can add people in there. And what will happen is even during sleeping hours, when my phone is actually set to quiet, then what it'll do is for certain people it will ring my phone so that I can hear it ring and it'll wake me up. Also a pretty good application to have depending on, of course, how you use your phone, but you might not want business phone calls after hours, for example. This application is called G-Tasks. This one's actually really simple. There's not a lot to the G-Tasks application. Let's find it here. G-Tasks. And what this allows us to do is this actually synchronizes the tasks that we have in our Gmail account to the tasks that we have on our mobile device. This is not a built-in feature. Even though it does synchronize your mail and your contacts and your calendar, tasks are not one of the things that it does. And so you can see that with G-Tasks installed, this actually is pulling from my Gmail account. And right as you first get in there, it'll ask you what account you want to sync to, and as soon as you set that, then it'll actually pull this automatically. There's not really a whole slew of options here. Of course, you can create a new task and you can complete a task, but there's not really a lot of settings or things that you want to change for it. You can have it remind you about things. You can see here it asks for the account and it's set to my account. This is a built-in application on a lot of phones. If you don't have it, I would advise that you download it. What this allows us to do is actually scan barcodes. You can see that what it's actually trying to do is scan behind us here. You can see there's a little red line, and it's actually looking for a barcode. Once it finds one, like this one, what it'll do is it'll actually try and read the barcode. Whoops. Try that one more time. It'll actually attempt to read the barcode. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not. But it'll read the barcode, and then once it's read it, you can see the information up there, and if I hit Google Shopper, then what it'll do is it'll actually check Google and see if it can find a product that matches and tell us what it is and how much it should cost. So you can see it found it under products, and when we load it, you can see that what I scanned was actually salted peanuts, and it found them previously here for $1.39. And this works really well. Although it works good for groceries when you're at Walmart and so on, It works best in places like Best Buy or Staples, Office Max. This is a very handy product when you're buying electronics because they vary greatly in price, and so it's worth looking it up. And I've actually saved quite a bit of money personally using this barcode scanner at Best Buy. Not really any options on this one. You can look at some of your history and some of your settings, but there's really not much to this program aside from the fact that you can use it in order to scan barcodes and find better prices online. There's actually lots of different revisions to that same program. There's a laser scanner and a few others. The one that I think works best is actually the one that was developed by, I think actually Google developed Barcode Scanner, but it works really great. Record a Call is a program that allows you to do exactly that. It allows you to record a call. Not tons of options here either. It allows you to either record or listen. This program is actually really great because it's one of few programs that actually can record through your Bluetooth headset. It can hear you and the other person, which is unlike most of them, where you can only hear the other person or you can only hear you. So this will allow you to record both sides of the conversation. And it allows you to actually play it back online. When you hit Get Password here, it'll give the password to you via a voice call. When I hit it, you saw that there was an incoming call, and it'll give you the password so you can go online and actually listen to your messages online. And from there, you can actually email it to somebody else or send it to yourself. Say My Name is an application that runs all the time in the background. And what it does is it announces the caller that's calling in. So aside from you having a ringtone, if you have somebody named Alex calling or sending a text message, what it'll do is it'll actually say, call from Alex, or Alex, if that's all you want it to say. There are quite a number of options in this one. You can change pretty much all of its behavior. So you can tell it to say the caller for calls, or just say it for SMS messages. You can change what it's going to say.
Tom.
You can see that it's testing the word Tom. You can change how many times it repeats.
Tom. Tom.
This one's set to 5 as it turns out.
Tom.
So repeat name, it's set to 6 actually. So you can set it to however many number of times you want it to do it. You can set the delay time. And you can set the break in between, so if you want it to wait a couple moments before it says it again, or if you want it to just go really fast and say it over and over again. You can customize the announcement so that instead of just saying the name, you see how right there it says % equals for name, or you can say call from before that, and it'll say call from and then their name. You can also have an announce email. My email thing is turned off. And you can donate to them if you think that it's a really great application, but it's actually just free. There's no advanced settings or other options if you decide to just use the free version. It works really well. It works on the text-to-voice engine that's built into your phone. And just a great program if you aren't close to your phone all the time, or you'd like to know who's calling without having to look at your phone. We're going to talk about SMS backup. SMS backup is also a fairly simple program, not really a lot to it. It wants to know your email address and your password, and then what it does is it automatically backs up your SMS messages as they come in and sends them to your Gmail account so that you can access them online. The important thing there is that even though most of your information on this phone is up in the cloud, your SMS messages are not. So if you lose your phone, or your phone needs to be set to factory defaults because of some provider issue or some settings or something else, although your phone will come back to a lot of the major settings, one of the few things that does not come back is your SMS messages, and if you'd like to keep them, then SMS backup is a great tool. It's again free, and should be installed on every phone if you ask me, or they need to fix it so that SMS is stored on the cloud anyway. If you haven't heard of PayPal, you've been asleep for the past few years. PayPal is a great way for you to send money back and forth between friends and colleagues and family and business associates. PayPal is really the new currency, and this allows you to do just about everything. I'm going to go ahead and hide my password from you guys. You'll notice that now it says logging in. And from here I have the ability to send money if I want to. I can hit send, and I can simply just type who I want to send the money to. It'll load from my contacts, and it'll then give me the option to send to whoever I want to send it to. It can also show me my balance. It can show me my balance there. I can see my history, and I can access my account just like normal. Not tons of settings on the PayPal app, but it is definitely useful if you're out and about and need to send money to somebody and they don't have a credit card, or you'd like to pay them in another fashion rather than writing a check or giving them cash. Very useful application. Wi-Fi Analyzer allows you to view the available wireless networks. It does require for your Wi-Fi to be turned on, so it was telling me that it's not. I'm going to go ahead and turn mine on. Once it's turned on, then I can go to my Wi-Fi Analyzer, and what it'll do is it'll pick up all the wireless networks in the area, and it'll show us the channel that they're using and the strength. And so if you're in the corner of your house and you're just not seeing your network very well, and there's another network that's actually hitting on the same channel, you can go through and reconfigure your router so that you're using the right channel. You can also check in different areas to see how much strength you're getting in your home. If you just can't seem to get a strong signal, it might be because you just don't have enough signal strength. So if I was trying, for example, to connect to that Netgear network, you can see that the probability would be pretty low that I would get a good connection. Whereas if I try to connect to the red Netgear network, then I would have pretty good success. This allows you to identify conflict with SSID and conflict with channel, which is very, very useful on a business level, and of course also very useful now in homes, since just about every home has a Wi-Fi network and just about everybody has neighbors, and there's a lot of conflict. So this is a very useful tool. We're going to talk next about Google Voice and Voice Choice. They're two separate applications, but they relate to one another very closely. I'm going to go ahead and open Google Voice first. It's actually, even though it's called Google Voice, it's actually just called Voice in your applications. This allows direct access to your Google Voice account. If you don't have one, you should have one of those. They're free, they're nice. They give you a phone number that's local to you or local to somebody else that you talk to a lot, and it's free. They do voicemail, they do calling in and out. It's not one that's tied to your phone, it's tied to your account. So if you're changing carriers, or you want your phone to be able to, your phone number to follow you around, ring your home phone, then ring your cell phone, then a Google Voice number is a good solution for you. This application just gives me access to it, so you can see this shows me my voicemail. I can also take a look at text messages if I like. I can compose new ones. I can compose new messages and send them out. And really what it allows us to do is what Voice Choice allows us to do. And it allows us to dial out with that number. Let me show you inside here. Let me show you why you would need that first, which is from here, if I go to the settings, then what you'll see here under Make Calls, then I can select to have Google make all my calls, Google make none of my calls, Google make only my international calls because their rates are way cheaper than anywhere really, and ask every time it makes a call. I have mine set to make all the calls, and I'm going to show you why here in just a second. What that means is that when the phone makes a phone call out, instead of calling out through the number that my phone number is, it's going to call out through my Google phone number that's associated with this account. Now, what this means is that when I dial somebody out of my address book, the call is going to show up on their end as if it's coming from my Google Voice number rather than my normal number. And what you can do is you can actually, if you need a little bit more customization than just ask me every time, or all my calls, or none of my calls, if you'd like to have certain people that you call always be called from your Google Voice and certain people always not, then there's another program that's a free program that's really great, which is called Voice Choice. That's this one here. And what this allows you to do is select a list of phone numbers that you're going to call from Google Voice, or a list of phone numbers that you're not going to call from Google Voice, and that's done in the settings here. You can either use it in reverse or you can use it in normal mode. And depending on which options you want, you'll select the option that's appropriate for you. And then some of your calls will go through your normal line, and some of your calls will go through your Google Voice line. That sums it up for Google Voice and Google Choice. Thanks again for joining us.